Hey everyone, it's First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Brad Panovich. Here's an update on your forecast going into the weekend. Now, we just came out of that huge snowstorm across the western Carolinas. Our concern now is for flooding because we're going to be melting a lot of that snow and we've got some heavy rain heading our way. Let's go right to the graphics and show you what's going on. Our storm system is developing back to the west. You could see pretty big storm system, but unlike our last one, this is a lot more southern branch energy. The last storm and most snowstorms in general, as you heard me talk about with the last one, we've got the southern branch working in tandem with the northern branch of the jet stream. The northern branch gives you some energy and some cold air. The southern branch gives you a ton of energy and a whole lot of moisture. When they work perfectly, that's when we get big snowstorms. This one was just about as perfect as they get, even though I know areas around Charlotte South didn't see snow. We didn't really expect it because the track was just a little farther north. A little farther south pulls that snow all the way down towards the South Carolina border, or if not past. But the problem with this system is it's got a lot of moisture within it. If we look back at the snowfall, this is the derived snowfall from the storm over the weekend. You can see all the melting that's gone on. There's not much around Charlotte, even up towards Hickory and some of these urban areas where we've had more concrete and steel. That absorbs more sunshine and it melts things pretty quickly. But what I wanted to show you is the water equivalent. If I could show that to you, I'm going to see if I can pop that up here. So you're looking at the percent of melt right now. I'm going to actually stretch this out so I can see it. Let me stretch this up. Snow depth and snow density, that's what we're showing you right now. I'm going to turn off the density, but what I want to show you is snow melt. This will show you how fast it's melting, obviously melting much quicker on the edges than it is anywhere else. And then I'm going to show you the average water equivalency. So I'm going to turn off that and we'll turn on the water equivalent, which is key to flooding. So this is like how much liquid water is there based on the snow. So the bottom you could see is the actual liquid equivalent and the top is the snow equivalent. So there's a lot of moisture. In some of these cases, 2 to 5 and even 10 inches of liquid water is piled up here. Even across Charlotte, we didn't get a lot of snow south, but there was moisture here. So the ground is full of basically moisture, and that's going to be the problem. So when this rain comes in, and I'll show you how this unfolds here, it's going to be falling over that moist ground and snowpack, which is going to melt and could cause additional flooding. So you can see the rain starts to roll in pretty much tonight. This is 11 p.m. 11 p.m. You can see up there the model time up in the corner of the screen. We'll go towards the overnight hours. So during today, you're okay. This rain rolls in overnight. But that's a pretty big shield of all rain. Again, it's all rain this go around. It's not going to exactly be warm. It's going to be in the 40s, but it's all liquid. You can see it falling from the sky. And then look where this heavy rain moves in. This area, especially north of Charlotte up towards Greensboro, I mean, if we get an inch and a half of rain, normally not a big deal, but on the snowpack, that's going to cause significant flooding issues. And then if we get this band of heavy rain to set up back this way, notice how the mountain ridges are all highlighted here. That's southeast flow, folks. That's the same flow that produced the heavy snow in those areas. We talked about it. This is what we worry about in flood situations, southeast wind. That's why it was so impressive with the snowstorm. We had that flow for a flood event, but it was cold enough for all snow. So that area right in there in particular, we're probably going to see some type of flooding. And this is going through tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. We'll start going into Saturday morning. Looks like another surge. This is just after midnight, Friday night. Another surge of moisture in here starts moving in. That would be substantial rainfall. And we go into Saturday morning. The rain is still lingering, but Saturday's not a washout. Friday certainly could be. But you can see Saturday looks like more scattered stuff. So our biggest concern is going to be these areas right here in the foothills and in the mountains. It's all that heavy rain. And then really part of the northern and northwest Piedmont. That's where the heavy snow fell. And that's where we're going to see the overlap of really heavy rain, which could be very problematic. So real quickly, I'll show you the rainfall forecast from the WPC. Now, I think this is going to be shifted back to the west. I think it's underdone here, but you can see even at the coast, you're looking at 4 or 5 inches of rain over the next 3 days. This is a 72-hour forecast. This is about an inch, inch and a quarter, inch and a half, 2 inches, 3 inches. So you start getting 2 to 3 in this area right in here when you start getting into the purples. But this is about 1 to 2 up here. So you look at that, and I'll show you a close-up view of this. This is the same graphic, but with actual numbers. So you can see I'm going to stretch this out through here. You can see right around 2 inches here, 1.5 inches. So general 1 to 2 inches. And again, I think this will be updated. Looking at the guidance, that upslope is being underplayed big time in some of this outlook. So if you live in these areas, the mountains, foothills, up into the northwest Piedmont, we went from a winter storm last weekend to big time snow to now a huge flood threat. So please make sure the storm drains are cleaned out. Any piles of snow aren't blocking water from draining in there. Make sure you got any low-lying areas kind of all the stuff picked up and kind of ready. You need to let this stuff drain off. So anything that could obscure the drainage is going to cause even bigger issues. And snow piles tend to do that as well. So you may want to go out there today. It's slushy, wet, nasty snow now. Make sure all the snow is kind of in the spot where it can melt and the water can run away from your house or your business. I'll keep you updated throughout today, tomorrow, and as we go into the upcoming weekend.